So, you're probably wondering, how the heck are we going to take a string, turn it into an integer, and then send it out to us as a string? So you're essentially converting this twice. Well, you're going to wind up essentially making duplicates, but you're not going to be visibly seeing said duplicates, if that makes any sort of sense. Uh, I know it's a very alien concept to us because we're not necessarily computers. We don't necessarily copy and paste ourselves. But I'm just going to show this off in the simplest terminology first, and then it'll get increasingly a little bit more complex. So I'm just going to start with a word, and I'm just going to name it my word, and because I'm hungry, I'm putting it as hamburger. Because I'm hungry. And then, of course, I'm going to just simply have my letter. My letter is going to be equal to my word, but I'm going to put the square brackets after my word. I am now changing my word into essentially a list. It was a string, but now every single letter in that string is going to be its own individual part. So I can simply say my word 3, and it'll print the thing that is in position 3 in that word. So I'll just print my letter, and it should, in theory, give me the B. And it did. Now remember, why did it give me the B? Because the position starts at 0. So this H is not 1. This H is 0. The A is 1. The M is 2. The B is 3. Now if I try to go and say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 letters here, so the max I can go to is 8, really. So let's just say execute here. 8, yep, it gave me the R. So if I were to try something like, 14, it's not going to give me anything because it's out of the range. There's nothing in this range here. Now, in the same sort of situation, I can simply make an integer or a variable as well. I can make, I don't know, my number, and I'll make that my number equal 7. So now, if I simply put my number inside that bracket, inside those square brackets, now it'll give me the position 7 because that's what I named my number. So yes, I can also input other variables inside these square brackets to find these sort of things. Now, at the same time, I can also simply put in a random number as well. So, if I were to simply do, let me just make a random, import random. And let me instead just put this in here and say random dot rand int len for random length, and I'll put the length of my word. And in theory, that should work. Nope, it's not going to work. Okay, cool. So, let me do this. I will cut that out, and I will replace my number. Instead of being a 7, it'll be that expression. So now, my number. Callback rand int messing the argument B. My number equals random.randint len my word. Okay, so len, is there something wrong with the word len? And there might be something wrong with my int. Let me just take a quick look here. Because it's not rand int, it's random range. That's why. Rand range. It'll give me a random range in between the len of this word. So if I hit execute, then it gave me the H here, so it gave me position 0. Now if I execute again, it'll be, also an H. Let's try it again. Third time. There we go. G. It gave me a different random one. Now I'll execute it again. An A, so it gave me this position instead. So yes, if you want simply just a random range, so just a random letter in this word, it'll keep picking something different over and over and over and over again. So, it's not rand int, it's rand range. I was using the wrong coding language there for a second. But Overall, yeah, as you can see, it's a little tricky to do, even for me. So you wind up having to, make essentially these duplicate things here. Now, what's the duplicate thing going to wind up being? So, I'm going to make a while loop in the next video to showcase how you can wind up doing something. Because right now, as we saw, we could get the H twice. Do we really want our word to just have the different letters than what's already in this word? Like, do we want hamburger to be capital H, A, M, U, capital H, G? No, it's not going to work. So there has to be some sort of way to guarantee that whenever we find a random letter from this, it is now removed from the word. And then we have a new word that's just the remaining letters to pick from. So our choices, we can't ever duplicate our results, right? So, let's figure out how to do that, because that's going to be the key thing of how to make sure that our random jumbled word can accurately be determined as a real word. Or, in theory, even though it's a 1 out of, 9 chance, we could wind up with this code getting a random word that's all capital H's, which is not what hamburger is. So let's work on that in the next video.